Hello, Stamper. Welcome to Frenchie's video. I'm France Martin, independent demonstrator with Stamping Up at frenchiestamps.com in the US. Today I'm sharing a full illusion of work patch. I was inspired by Denise on my team, um, and we did a color in color challenge, and her layout was like this, and I was like, ooh, oh, she done that. Well, here it is. So I'm gonna share how to do this. So this one, it's Night of Navy, uh, Daffodil Delight, and the flower here, it is, let me think here, it is Moody Mauve. The stamp set that I am using, it is the inked and towel. So, and I did it with the daisy, and this one it's embossed. The background, I don't know how much you can see. I will have the picture on my blog. Right below, you get the direct link for all the supplies in the individual picture also. This one, I did it with the daisy. And so it's all the same background and so on. The exception, this one I added one layer. So the blue, and that's what we're going to do the red here. It is 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. While here I added the top layer that it is 4 by 5 1/4. The only thing difference that if you want a second layer, you're going to add an extra cutout. So for these here, I am using these. The top, it's the same, really. I'm using the three smallest one of the square in the shapes, stylish shapes. So if you want to use one extra layer, the blue in the back, you're going to add the number 4 and then cut that so then it's easy to match. You cannot go with the largest one because the largest one going to go half your sheet. See, then you're really going to have to work at it. It's going to be a true patching. So you're going to go the smallest to the biggest. That's it. The only thing, the background there, if you add that one, you're going to go with the number 4. So let's get started. I already pre-cut, and then I get a little story inside this one here. I'm laughing. I already pre-cut, so I'm using number 3, and I start counting by the smallest to the biggest. Okay, so sometimes I count from the outside. Well, here I start from the smallest to larger. So I'm using number 3, 1, 2, and 3, the stitch. And if you don't have the stitch, you get like square um, dies. You can just play on your paper and see which one would go good first. Now I'm going to remove this because I already passed it in the cutting machine. Now I cut strips of 1/4 inch by 4 1/4. 4 1/4, it's too long. I prefer have too long than trying to match it. Now, after doing 2 of them, I learned a little bit of tips. You want to make sure that you don't pass the point here. So when you're going to put your strip of paper, you do not want, even if you pass just a little bit, it's make a difference. Okay, so you want, sometimes smaller it's better, right? You want to go right at the edge of this side. So here it is. I like to use my silicone mat because the glue gonna go beyond. I try to add the glue on this, but if you go off there, then you get open glue. If you choose to emboss, we will emboss this one. I find it much easier to emboss after. Let's say you just want to emboss the red and then put the blue, not emboss. Well, it's harder to glue a cardstock together when it's embossed. So for little bits and pieces, I prefer to emboss after, and that's what we're going to do today. So like I said, this is way too long. I'm going to put it here and see about where I'm going. Oh, I'm getting a little stubborn. So I'm going to stop the glue right there. Oops, you don't want to put too much because it's going to ooze on the side. Okay, now you're going to go right at the edge. And like I said, you don't want, the reason why you don't want to pass this here, it's because it would make a bump. You don't want no bump. Here we go. Now you're going to, so it doesn't matter where you're going to start. You're always going to start at a point and don't pass the point, okay? Like this can go a little bit more in here. Here we go. Voila. Now I'm going to go with the other one. And these strip again are a 1/4 inch wide. Um, I think this is a right length for it. Now, I don't go at the tip there, then I go equally with, wait a minute. I'm lost here. Um, okay, this one go there. Oh, now I go right here at the tip. I was like, wait a minute, something it's not jibing here. Here we go. So you go at one corner to the edge. Now, if you don't have enough, that's okay. You can come back and then add where you need. It's a lot easier to add more than removing the glue. See, I put a little bit too thick there and I get ooze a little bit. Now, we're going to go on this side here. So this one here, we're going to go ahead and put this one here. See, this going to go this way now, all the way down. So you go one corner and down to the side, and then one corner down. So each corner that you're doing, one of them should touch the bottom of the card. So we're wrapping the frame around. So that's really wrap the frame, and then we're going to have exactly the look that we want. Oh, I didn't put my finger there. I like to put my finger. Usually I know where to put it. I had glue on my finger and it went there. So now here it is. So when I butt and those two together. So if you go too much, you're gonna have the lump there. That's why you don't want to pass that. And voila, you get this. Now, after this is dry, let me remove the glue that I had there. You always want to let the glue dry before you use your adhesive eraser. Now I'm going to take my scissors. Oh, I see I forget to bring my piece of ribbon here. And we're going to cut from the back. Always cut from the back because from the back you know exactly where to go. If you go from the front, you think, oh, I'm going to go this way. It's a lot easier to go inside your card stop. So if you go from the back, it's a lot easier to just put your blade right on the edge of this. Anytime you get like stuff you have to trim on the side, I say from the back. It's some exception. Yes, I did some exception. Sometimes some project you have to go from the front, but most time it's go from the back. Et voila. Now what I'm going to do, one of my to go one, well, I get the 3D type worn, and then I get the new brick, exposed brick. Or this is from the online exclusive, the basic. It's three of them. It's just kind of a fabric. And then we get that's what a lot of time when I just want a little subtle in the background, that's what I like to use. So I thought switch it, but you know what, we're going to keep with that. So after it is glue all together, put it in your dies facing up, Stampin' Up, and then I like to have the top layer, so that's going to be the blue in this case, and the top layer, it's the smallest of all. So I'm going to put it right here. Oops. So then the pattern flow together. Gonna close this. Now, if you wonder, why do I have a yellow sticker there? The yellow sticker is telling me that it's an online exclusive product. With that being said, it is no, oh, it's shift. It is no date and no, it's while supplies last. We don't even have a date when it's going to be done or available. It's while supplies last. So by the time this video can be on live to public, it can be sold out. I don't think so, but just to let you know, anything that it's online exclusive, meaning also that it's not in any publication, it's while supplies last. Now I will emboss this quick here on the side, and because it's 3D embossing folder, I want my basic plate, then my sandwich, and then this is the number 4 plate. Okay, my husband just pulling in. I saw I'm gonna close the door because I know the dog's gonna go crazy. Here we go. Now we're gonna pull that. You can always reverse the embossing of this too. Uh, Camera don't do justice, but it's a very subtle, subtle piece. Now we're going to bring a piece of white cardstock that measure 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, score at 4 1/4. I'm sorry, back up the bus here. The whisper white, not whisper, it's basic white. Now measure 4 1/4 by 11, score at 5 1/2. Who I had a moment there. Now we're going to glue this piece, and when it's embossed like this, I really like to use Tombow glue. I think it's get a bond, a easier bond between the two pieces of cardstock. Now we're going to place this here, and I'm going to be honest with you. First I thought, oh, I don't need no extra layer, but you know what, a blue layer or an extra layer did look good too, but I'm doing this one plain so you can see the difference. Now we're going to go ahead. So the red, now it's the second from this second from the smallest. We're going to put it here like so. Now the one that we emboss, we're going to put that in the center, and this is the smallest square. So we can get kind of a diamond shape there, right? Here we go. Now for the flower here, I already stamp and cut, and I'm going to share with you a little bit of what I done for the stamping though, and we're going to stamp inside. So this is here, it's just um, real red and bushel, blueberry bushel, and then this is real red bushel, and then I put daffodil delight in the center. But I did this one, and then I'm like, oh, I want some yellow there, but I didn't wash my stamp set before I just used my marker, so that looked like orange. So to save on your marker too, so then it stay a nice color, I recommend that you wash your stamp set first. I like to stamp with my lightest color first. um I'm going to need a scrap paper here. When you ink with your marker, let's say that you touch a dark color, it's very important that at the end that you're going to take your marker and you just do this to remove any other color. In this case, it won't matter because I'm going to do the yellow first. So this is daffodil. I just do the bottom of the flower here. Now I'm going to go ahead with my flower. They are red. I like, this is the writing tip, and this is the brush. I like to use the brush, and then I just gonna brush this. Yes, it can touch my yellow, and that is okay. Red, it's darker, but even if um, red, it's darker, I'm gonna wipe it on the on the paper there, just to make sure that I'm not getting an orange. Okay, because yellow and red really get kind of orangey. Now I'm gonna take my brushel, blueberry bushel, and like the other one I had used old olive, but this one, because this video going to go live I think on the 4th of July, so I thought, red, white, and blue. I know it's too late for you to make a red, white, and blue, but Labor Day weekend, it's coming also. You know how time go fast. You can use that also. I like to use red, white, and blue more than the 4th of July. I like it Memorial Weekend. I like it for Labor Day weekend. I like it for the 4th of July. Veteran Day. It's many time you can use red, white, and blue. Now, while I was talking, my ink dry on this. So what I'm going to do is huff on it. And then we're going to smack it right here. Et voila. See, I really like with the yellow in the center. It just give a little pizzazz to it. So now this one was still a little bit orangey, but that's okay. We're still going to use it. I'm going to use dimensional in the back of the flower. I know I get dimensional here. And I get the tiny one. That's okay. I'm going to put two and three on the petals. So one, two, three on this one. Two would do, but one for luck, I say. And one at the bottom. Now we're going to go ahead and glue this. And yes, this is end cut. It's no die for this one. So you see I did it with the daisy. That's a die. Denise that did it with sending small. So you can do any flower, and really, it don't have to be a flower. You can have a vase. You can have whatever you prefer. You can put maybe just a greeting on this. Whatever you prefer, it's good. One thing that I forgot to do that I'm gonna do though, it's do the greeting. And usually I like to stamp the greeting before I emboss. But on both card, I forgot it. So that's okay. I will do it after. Now I'm just going to put that sideway a little bit. I really like the size of this flower here. It's almost two flowers because you see they don't touch together there. So you can cut this one and have it and just have a single one also. It's kind of a neat flower. And it's a distinctive ink flower. So you get the variation in the colors there. Now I'm going to use a piece of the ribbon with the gold. This is one of the best ribbon that, well, the best. When it's a sheer ribbon like this, I like I like it a lot just because that I can add any color that I want. This do it at your own risk because when you color ribbon with the blends, you can damage your blends because it's not a smooth like paper. What I like to do it's from the side, not point down from the side, and I just go right there. So I'm gonna do that on each side. Sometime I say do the front, do the back. This one you don't. I try not to touch much of the gold because I want to keep the gold there, but it's kind of a tricky not to touch it at all. But the other side, it didn't touch the gold. So we got a side that the gold is still very vivid without the blue. Voila. So that's what it's nice about this, right? So you can, it's so easy to add color. Now I'm going to take this, see, I'm full of ink there. Twist this around and here we go. Now I did way too long. I rather have too long than too short, like I say at all time, because it's easier to cut down than alternate, add it more. I just use a glue dot. Gonna put that right between the two there. And so this one, see it flip down. So to make sure that it's still flipping down when it go in the envelope, I'm going to take a glue dot, fold it in two because it's a bit too big. Fold it in two, lift this up here and put my ribbon there. So it will not go nowhere. It will not flip back up. I'm going to spread it a little bit. Here we go. Now we're going to go ahead and trim the ribbon diagonal. That's the way that I like to trim my ribbon. It's diagonal. I'm looking for my, oh, that's what happened. When you move from one place to the other, it seems, even if you get double on each desk, they move from back to the other place and I get double there. So I'm going to go point down to up, point down to up. Voila. Now, inside, I keep it just carrying my flower hand. Now, I got with I got Hello Friend that we're going to stamp there. Like, like I mentioned, I prefer to stamp before we emboss because sometimes after it's embossed, it kind of rock and it don't stamp in every bits and piece because it's raised up. So keep that in mind. Try to remember to emboss before you try to stamp before you emboss. Et voila. I kept it down without rocking it and I did good, but this would be easy. Now, the other one with the blue and the yellow, I used the brush butterfly. Now, this one here, I'm going to use plain rhinestone. I thought the rhinestone was going good with the red, white, and blue. So we're going to go ahead and just add a few here. I'm going to big. Then I'm going to go to the medium. And I always like to do odd number. Et voila. Very, just a little add-on. Now, I told you that the one with the daisy get a little story inside. So you can stick around. I'm going to share with you the daisy story. Let me grab the stamp set because I need that to tell you the little story there. So inside, I stamp this lovely flower. And so I stamp off first. Okay. So I took my stamp, ink it in blueberry bushel, stamp on the scrap paper, and then come here. Then I took the detail one, that's the one with the line, and went ink and directly. So that's how I got the two color tone. And here it's real red. Now, the story behind, boom. What happened? It happened that I took my stamp without really paying it big attention to it. I put the raised part, whatever, face down. So I had the back face up. So that's what was inking. So I just got a block. So sometimes you can do that if you want to do like, I use the back of it sometimes to color full string, but that was a little bit too dark to put my lines on top. So you see, it looked like I got it right, right? So I inked this, and what I got this. And really, what I should have got was, so you just have to maybe pay a little bit more attention when you put your stamp on. You want the detail or the bumpy part facing you. See, that's quite a bit of a difference, right? And even if I was trying to add the line to this one, it would have been good maybe if it would have been a light flower. But you see, it don't even, because it get reversed, it don't even match. See, it was not working. Because if it's all like a circle, something all the same size, well, that's when you can flip it around and so on. But in this case, it didn't work. I mean, I could have used it. It makes something different, but it was not my case here. Usually I can figure something out, flip it, and so on. But in this case, I decide to cut the card. And so this one, it's double mountain. You don't even really see it. I'm going to use that for a scrap paper. So that's the little story behind. So I know many of you like when I share my oops because it make some of you feel, oh my gosh, even the one doing video make mistake. Absolutely, my friend. So here they are. So you got these two are embossed and this one it's not embossed. So I really like with the emboss. It's hard to tell on the camera there, but visit my blog. Right below you get the direct link, and I will have all measurement, all the supplies that I use, the color for all the card, and you will have the individual pictures. Again, if you're in the US, you can shop 24/7 on my site. And I so appreciate all of you that shop with me to support my business. Thank you so much and have a great day, my friend. Bye bye for now.